Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Cat and Kitty Gaming. I'm Matt.
I'm Kelcey.
And we are very glad to have you back with us. Today we are playing some Factorio. If you don't know what Factorio is, it is kind of a resource management factory sim type thing.
On a distant alien planet.
Yes, actually, that's very true. Now, Factorio is I've never really played anything quite like it, and I really enjoy it, and I've played through this game a couple times. Kelcey has not.
I did get about, I want to say like a quarter of the way through on a playthrough I did myself before I just gave up out of frustration. And I also want to mention that Matt and I did attempt a playthrough of this together, and I'll have to kind of explain how that went. Later on.
Spoiler warning, it didn't go super well.
No.
So part of that frustration was me not being very good at explaining things. So we thought, hey, if I'm explaining things to you, the viewer, and also to Kelcey, that might slow the pace down and help her not be so frustrated. And hey, sometimes watching Kelcey do these things can be kind of entertaining. So hopefully you'll enjoy watching us play through this. So let me just explain a few quick things before we get into the game. If you would like to skip straight to gameplay, we will be putting a timestamp on the screen. You can skip ahead to that point, and you will not have to watch any of these explanations if you're not interested in that sort of thing. So we are running a couple of mods here. First one is Afraid of the Dark. That is just for your YouTube viewing experience, so you can actually see what's happening on the screen. It just makes the screen less dark.
That's nice.
Yes. Well, it's not actually a mod. And next up, we're also running the Long Reach mod. That just means you can reach things further on your screen. You can build things from further away. It'll just speed up the process a little bit here. Squeak Through allows you to get between tight spaces that you wouldn't normally be able to get through. Again, it's just like a way to make the gameplay a little less frustrating for Kelcey and go a little faster. And Time Control just allows me to speed up or slow down the pace of the game if we want to or something. I will try to use this as sparingly as possible. It's only just so that you as the viewer do not get bored if we're waiting for something to happen. Now, when you start a game in Factorio, you will be greeted with all these options about different resources, how much of each resource you want to have. You can basically customize the difficulty of the game by configuring these things here. I'm not going to go through them individually. You can do your own research as to what each of these individual parameters means. But here you can see sort of what I've done. We do have enemies on, but I've scaled back their aggressiveness a little bit so that Kelcey doesn't get completely overwhelmed right away.
Yeah,
by
that
everything.
could happen.
It could.
I might panic. There might be some panic when the fighters come on.
Hopefully not. Okay, so those are the basic settings we will be using. Let's go ahead and get into the game.
I kind of feel like I need to mention before we start this that Matt has played a lot of hours of this game.
Yeah.
I mean, what level would you call yourself? Proficient at this point?
I would call myself proficient. I'm not like amazing at this game, but I can get a good factory up and running. That's what we'll say.
Let's just say there were days where I left in the morning. These were like weekend days when nothing was going on. I left in the morning. I came back like 12 hours later. Matt was still playing the game in the same exact position.
This game
will... Obsession.
It doesn't matter how OCD you are or are not. This game will unlock your inner OCD crazy person, and you will just be obsessed with making your factory as efficient as possible. I've never experienced anything like it.
I've never seen you get sucked into something quite so much. So
I know, it's a little insane, isn't it? So let's go ahead and get into our game. Okay, so we are in the game, and as Kelcey so adequately described, we are in an alien planet of sorts.
It's so vast.
It is. It's very, I mean, just look how far I can zoom out. You can see like the scale here.
We're so tiny.
I know, we're just these little minor people dudes. Apparently the map in Factorio is very nearly infinite. Apparently it's not quite that way, but I've never gotten to the edge of it, so it's quite large. So
it just continues on, like even bigger than the mini map is showing?
Oh, yes. It's much bigger than what the mini map shows. You can go for quite a while and never run out of space or resources, frankly.
So much room.
So, our ultimate goal here, since we are stuck on an alien planet, the story is kind of that we are stuck here and we need to build a spaceship, or I should say a rocket rather, and launch it into space with a satellite in it so that we can, launch communication to try to be rescued. As to whether or not we are ever rescued, the game doesn't really tell us, because it's more concerned with the factory aspect of things, I suppose.
Wait, you never find out if you actually get rescued once you launch the rocket?
Nope, it just goes, you've won the game, and then that's it.
You're just flying into space with no answers?
Well, no, the satellite is. You stay on the planet. You send out a satellite.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Okay. So the first thing we need to do is we need to start gathering some basic resources. And two of the most important things early on in the game are you need stone and iron. So let's start looking around here for both of those.
This looks like a lot of stone.
That is iron, actually.
Oh, iron,
yes.
Okay.
If you hover over it, you can see kind of what it is that you're hovering over.
I see.
And
iron
even the amount
ore.
that's there, which is useful information. Okay, so down here is a little patch of stone, so that we can grab some of that. And we're going to right-click on things to harvest them. And you're not going to need like a ton of stone. You will need some here.
Harvesting the stone.
And,
Harvesting the stone.
Wait, what? They must have added a new like hotkey or something, because I hit... What in the world? I hit Q and I can just randomly build a burner mining drill? That's different.
Oh.
What is it? Does it do that for you too?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so anyway, when we open our menu here, we can see all the different things that are available to us.
How do I open my menu again?
E.
E.
Yes. So we've got a couple different options here. We've got, logistics, production, intermediate products, combat, all these different things. What we're interested in is getting some production up and running here. So we need to make these things that they call burner mining drills. And those are pretty much exactly what they sound like. They're drills that mine resources for you. Burner just means that that's how they are powered. Obviously, drills don't work by magic. They have to have some kind of power. So we can power them with fuel that burns like wood or coal. And there's a couple other things later in the game we can use, but wood and coal are the two primary things available to us right now. So let us make a couple of burner mining drills. How many can you make currently?
One.
Oh, that's all?
One.
One?
Maybe I need more stone.
Okay. Why can't I make any? Oh, we need iron before we can do that. Yeah. Okay. So let's go. Oh, hang on. Okay. Yeah. It's been a while since I've done the start of this game. So let's each make a furnace, a stone furnace. That's a good place to start, and just plunk it down, anywhere.
Okay.
And we're going to grab a little bit of iron.
Anywhere. Where?
I don't know. We're going to pick it up in a minute here. Just put it down anywhere for now.
Next to yours.
Yep. Sure. I've been working on the railroad.
Didn't they do an update to... Didn't they do an update to this game's graphics recently?
Yes. This game, we are playing on 0.17, as I recall. Now, those of you who know how gaming works might say, doesn't that mean it's in early access? Technically, yes, this game is in early access. But Factorio might be the most stable early access game I've ever seen. I mean, it has a huge amount of features. They recently just did a graphical overhaul.
I can't believe it's still in early access.
I know,
it's kind of like makes the term early access a little bit meaningless, considering it's been in early access for years.
Yeah, I guess the idea is they wanted to have like a boatload of features by the time they actually launch it here. And they're getting very close. Okay, so you probably have enough iron.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to click one of the furnaces, and we're going to drop some of our iron in the little top slot there, the resource slot. And then you'll need some wood or something to drop in the little fuel slot there. And then it'll start making some iron for us. So you can use wood or coal. Actually, those are really the only two options right now. Wood. Yeah, you can just chop down a tree by right-clicking on it the same way you did with the stone and the wood and the iron there.
Deforestation.
Of course. Everyone cheers for deforestation. Right? I think, maybe. Okay, so those things are doing some work for us. Let's just put a little more in there just so we have plenty.
Ooh, we're in sync.
Yes, we are. Kind of, I guess.
Look at us go. It's like a well choreographed dance.
May as well get used to that sound for the first couple minutes of the game here. All right, I'm going to put more of that in there. And let's grab our plates. Oh, and by the way, there's some handy shortcuts. So if I control right-click, or sorry, just control-click on the furnace, I will pull out all of the iron plates that it has produced.
Control-click.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
oh.
there you go.
That's
if I
nice.
control right-click, it'll pull out half of whatever's in there. Yep. Okay, so now we have some plates. So let's pick up these furnaces because we actually need them for burner mining drills.
Got it.
So next what we need to do is we need to be able to fuel all of our burner mining drills. So there's a handy little trick here you can do with coal. So let's each make as many burner mining drills as we can. And you can see down here in the bottom left corner, our character is kind of crafting all this stuff by hand.
I can make 3.
Okay, go ahead and make 3. That's enough for now. Okay. So with burner mining drills, you can see that little yellow arrow when you go to plunk it down there?
Yes. Wait.
There should be like a little yellow
arrow. Don't have
arrow.
it selected. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. That represents output. So we're going to configure them like this, and we're going to have them feeding into each other, and then we'll just continue to generate coal. So take 2 of your miners and just kind of complete the little circle here.
That?
Yes, exactly like that. Very good. So now I'm just going to put some coal in this first one here, and that'll kind of jumpstart things. And they'll just keep feeding coal into each other like that, and they will continue to produce coal kind of in a circle like that.
Interesting.
Yep. It's a very handy little trick that kind of just, I don't know, helps get things going at the start of the game. Let's put a little bit in there. There we go. Now they're all producing coal kind of in a nice little circle there. So that will just keep going until they eventually fill up with coal, which will take a little time.
It's a circle of coal.
You guys will have to understand that Kelcey is kind of the just have fun one, and I'm the, get things done one. And
yeah, I think the last time we played this together, I spent probably about 95% of the time just riding around on all the belts.
Yeah, because there are conveyor belts in this game, and Kelcey really enjoys those.
I just stand there, and I just let the belts decide where my journey will go.
Well, we don't have belts yet. That is something we want to get to pretty soon here.
I'm excited when we get to the belt phase.
So, we want to start getting as much of this stuff automatically as we can. So, in order to do that, we're going to need a little more stone and a little more iron.
All right, I'm going to go get the iron.
Okay,
we're going to tag team it.
And if you see like a big rock anywhere, you can break those open and get like 20 stone at a time, which is kind of handy.
Mega stone.
Mm-hmm.
Your pickaxes break in this game?
They used to. That is a feature they recently changed, where you used to have to like, every so often your pickaxe would break and you'd have to get a new one. Now your pick just lasts like indefinitely.
I kind of like that.
I do too. I like that. I like that much better than the old system. And you can research like a steel pick that is that will last longer. But you don't have to like ever rebuild it.
Yeah, I mean, having to figure out that how you always have a pickaxe is not like the fun part of the game, you know?
No, that didn't really add anything to the game. Okay, so go ahead and drop your iron in here. Oh, wait, no, that won't help us. Hold on. Okay. Okay, go ahead and put your iron in this guy.
Okay.
And maybe put a little more in that guy. And we're going to go ahead and get some production rolling here. Okay. All right, we're making some iron plates, so we need those. So our ultimate goal, well, not ultimate goal, but our goal maybe like by the end of this episode is to get some electric power happening. Electric power will allow us to not have to worry about things like coal nearly as much, and we can automate most things, which is really handy.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So once we have electric power, we'll be able to do a lot more. We won't feel so constrained by like, mining resources by hand and that kind of thing. Okay, so let me grab our iron plates, and let's make a couple of... No, hang on, where are those? Okay, we're going to make a couple of burner mining drills. I'm going to pick these up here. And now we can do this kind of handy thing where we can just like have our mining drills just sort of dump right into our furnaces. And then that will...
Oh, yeah, okay.
Allow them... It's not totally automated because we have to come and like babysit it periodically.
Like we have to deliver coal.
Yes, but here we have our little coal, generating system there. So let's just go ahead and dump some coal into each of these guys, and we're going to start getting iron plates that way. Okay, let's just take a quick... What have we got around here?
Look at all these barren stumps. We're just going around this world leaving these giant stumps everywhere. It's going to get ugly real fast.
Oh, yeah, we're going to... This world ain't going to be a lot better off by the time we're done with it. For those of you who don't know, there are enemies in this game, and they're called biters.
Not a Walking Dead reference, though.
No, not a Walking Dead reference. They're just alien things. They kind of look like, I don't know, cockroaches maybe, kind of, sort of.
You know, I don't blame them for being a little testy, considering we're coming into their land and basically we're like colonizing it.
Yes, and that's actually a pretty cool, kind of like clever theme of this game, is that the more stuff you build and like the more, you know, the bigger your factory gets, the more aggressive the locals will get, and they'll like evolve and become stronger. So it's kind of a double-edged sword expanding your factory. You have to be ready to defend yourself against the biters. And we do, I think I mentioned we do have enemies on. So eventually here we're going to have to start fighting for our survival.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, indeed. I try to make them not like too crazy so that we didn't spend just like the whole game fighting biters, because that's only interesting for so long.
Yeah, you can only handle so much of me panicking.
Yes.
Freaking out.
Trust me, that will happen.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Okay, and then I'm going to dump... Oh, wait, hang on. What do I need there? I need a chest there.
Running around.
Okay. Now with stone, we don't need to like turn stone into anything else yet, so we're just going to have it dumping into this little box here. That's really all we need with stone.
A chest.
Whereas with like, what now?
A chest.
Yes,
it's
a
like
chest.
a chest, right?
Yes. And you can make them with wood. All right, so how many iron plates have we got? Oh, okay, we're getting a decent amount.
So is that nighttime now?
It's a little hard. No, actually, it just became daytime. Yeah, the Afraid of the Dark mod makes it a little hard to tell sometimes what's actually
I can't tell
what.
what's night and what's day.
Now some people might argue that makes the game like easier because part of like dealing with this game is having enough electricity, you know, to power your lights and stuff. And like I can see the argument for that, but it just doesn't make for a very good viewing experience on YouTube. And if people don't enjoy watching this, then you know what's the point?
True. What is the point?
So, that's why I decided to go ahead and do that. Oh, that's the... All right, I'm going to go ahead and make some more of these. So basically, Kelcey, what we're looking to do is just doing more of what we're doing. Getting more stone, making more burner mining drills to get more iron, that kind of stuff. Make more iron plates.
So
That's kind of what we're up to here. And don't forget to periodically come over here and just harvest our coal and make some more coal.
You have to play like Santa Claus. Because we're delivering coal.
Oh, okay. Only if you're, you know,
apparently our burners are, they've been bad. They're on the naughty list.
They are on the naughty list. They get lots and lots of coal.
They get lots of coal.
I think they like coal, though. They're just used to being naughty.
That's true. Maybe for them, coal is a positive reward. Maybe they're on the good list, the nice list.
That would be weird, but hey, I mean, I'm not here to judge. Okay, so we got a decent amount of things on stone. There you go. You're getting the idea. Now you just need furnaces to smelt those.
Things down. Doing some plunking.
Plunking?
Yep, that's what I call it. Plunking.
I see. Do you have furnaces for those then?
I need more stone.
Well, you can go ahead and run on down to the stone chest there and
go get some stone.
You'll be all set to go. I'm going to give these guys some coal. All right, we're plugging away here. So now we need to start thinking about copper in the near future. Now that we're getting some minimal automation here on our iron plates.
Oh, is it doing it? Oh yeah, it's doing it.
No, you need to have coal in those.
Oh, that's right. Gotta be Santa.
Yeah.
Gotta be
furnaces,
Santa.
not smelters. I tend to use the word smelter and furnace interchangeably. I mean, basically it's the same thing, but I just, yeah. If I ever say smelter, that's what I mean.
Or I can put wood in there too, right?
Feel free. Yeah, wood doesn't last as long, but it's also like, you know, really cheap and easy to get a hold of.
Yeah, I just happen to have a bunch, so I'm going to use that for now.
All right, let's grab... Oh, those are not... Oh, what the heck? Okay, so here's a problem worth pointing out. Notice how this chute is kind of sticking off down here in the bottom of nothing?
Yes.
Yeah, it needs to be rotated and facing... Whoop, the chest, like that.
How do you rotate it without picking it up?
You can just hover over it and press R.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
Okay, cool. That's easy.
Yep, pretty simple. So this should be generating... There we go. Generating a lot more stone now. Much better.
I wish other games let you do that.
I know. I don't know why you have to pick it up and then... Like, I understand that you can't rotate something when it's, like, installed on the ground, but... I mean, this is a video game. We don't play video games for their realism, if we're honest about it.
It's kind of like Prison Architect. Don't know if anyone's familiar with that one, but if you install something, you have to, like, uninstall it before you can move it around.
Oh, even
it drives me
rotate it?
nuts. Takes forever.
Yeah, that kind of stuff can get time-consuming real fast. All right, so that's probably enough iron to get started with. Next, we should think about some copper here. So we have a little stone. Let me grab more stone. Getting some stone.
Should I get some stone?
Well, I just took it all.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. All right, let's come down here to where copper is. This orange stuff is, of course, copper. One of the absolutely essential ingredients for any factory.
So pretty.
It is actually. Here, let's just zoom in and admire like the little. That actually looks pretty nice.
The pixely goodness.
I actually really appreciate the art in this game. It's not exactly like eye-catching all the time, but it gets the job done. I enjoy it.
It does. It's pretty nice.
All right, so let's go ahead and make. I don't know how many of those should I make. Start there. And this is one thing that's kind of a theme of the game, is that crafting things by hand is very inefficient, and you want to do it as little as possible. And once you unlock some like automation type things, you're going to have a much easier time with the game, because the more time you're crafting things by hand, that's when you're not building. Like the object of this game is to be building as much as possible and spend as little time as possible doing things like crafting stuff. Oh, I ran out of coal. Okay, let's run back and get some stuff. Oh, interesting. Okay, so the Are You Afraid of the Dark mod basically just kind of makes like a halo of light around you. Because if you zoom out, you can kind of see like...
Oh, I see.
Yeah, there's like darkness all around us. So that's kind of how it works.
Interesting.
All right, that works. I'm okay with that. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish this over here.
It's already happening, Matt. I'm standing around doing nothing, and you're doing all the work.
I'm telling you what to do, and you're not doing it.
You gotta direct me. I'm gonna do it wrong.
No, you're okay. See what I'm doing here?
Yeah.
Go do more of this on the iron. That'd be a good thing for you to do.
On the iron, okay.
Okay.
This is what happened the last time. I got so mad at him because I was just standing there with nothing to do, and that's why I started riding around on the belts, because I was so lost and alone.
In my defense, I was telling her how to do things. She was just convinced she was going to do it wrong all the time.
Well, yeah, because you have like this idea in your mind about how you want to set it up, and I would inevitably do it differently, and it was just...
Well, that is the goal. We're going to teach you how to do things, hopefully in a more or less efficient way. Well, I try to stick to, like, fairly standardized ways of doing things, so that hopefully, like, you know, if you're to, like, look up, you know, ideas about bases or how to do certain resource systems, that it's familiar. I don't do everything like the, you know, quote-unquote standard way, but I try to stick to it so that I'm not, like, totally confusing other people when I play this game. Hopefully that's the case.
We'll see how it goes.
We will.
You leave me to my own devices. That does not make for a happy wife.
Well, hopefully when I uncover some of the interesting ways you've done things, that'll make for good entertainment value.
I guess that's true.
Okay, we are actually getting to the point where we're soon going to be ready to start working on some power. Power.
I've got the power.
You got the power, baby. Okay, I think we need to do some laboratories, though. Let's make a laboratory. All right, how many more of these did you put down?
Just one.
Just one. Okay, well, it's something.
I only had enough for one. I mean, I could probably do more.
Oh, yeah, just run around and grab the resources. Don't forget you can control-click on stuff to grab its resources. That's a real way to expedite the process.
Oh, everything's out of coal. Or something.
Oh, yeah, just go grab some coal and plunk it in there for him. Keep the machine running.
Gotta be Santa.
Yes. Oh, wait a minute. I can't do anything with this laboratory yet because it needs power to run. So I need to do power first. Well, everybody, I think that's going to about do it for this episode of Factorio. This was a little bit of a demonstration of how to get things rolling in the early game, some real basic mining, how to sort of semi-automate a few things here to get your resources up and running. And Kelcey is being Santa and delivering coal to everything.
I am.
Yes, she is. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We will see you on the next episode. Take care, everybody.